So this is something from the Into the Infinityverse, this is where I talk about behind the scenes with the shared fanfiction universe I do with my friend Jason Voorhees 2011, and yeah, this is something I've wanted to talk about and do a video on for since day one. This is something I've wanted to talk, and the thing is, it's not even out yet. This isn't even out. We've mentioned it a little bit here and there, but I figured, you know what, we're going to talk. There's going to be mentions of it in the next chapter of Dark Phoenix, and in chapter 5 of Dark Phoenix. That's going to be a bigger part of the story and spin off into something else. So I was like, fuck it, I'll talk about it now. The Illuminati. This was actually one of the first things when we were building the fanfiction universe. This was one of the first things that really came to mind. Now, yes, it is based off the Marvel Illuminati, which is, for those who don't know, Marvel's Illuminati is a secret group of Marvel's most intelligent and most influential characters, which, funny enough, they're all rich white people. Don't fight me on this, you know it's true. Which, yeah, that dawned on me. Oh, they're all a bunch of rich white people. And they're naming themselves the Illuminati, which is something that controls the world. Huh. I don't know if Bendis did that intentionally. I don't know. But thankfully, when the second incarnation showed up, it had Black Panther in charge, which I was like, why wasn't T'Challa in the first incarnation of this team? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, in this Illuminati, long story short, the Illuminati is a Marvel group that originally first consisted of Iron Man, Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, Namor, and Xavier. And they basically dealt with secret missions to help save the Marvel Universe. They're also kind of indirectly responsible for both the Secret Invasion and World War Hulk, so you can thank them for that. But the major thing in this story is that, yeah, the Illuminati in this incarnation are very much like that, where it's a group of superheroes who not so much control the destiny, but more try to prevent shit from happening. They very much try to prevent shit from occurring in these stories. So that was kind of the idea. So you're probably wondering, well, who in the Infinityverse are members of the Illuminati? Who are the Illuminati in this incarnation? Well, I'll tell you. It is Optimus Prime, Zordon, Moon Butterfly, Rose Quartz, Stan Ford Pines, and Washu. So you got... Oh yeah, and Ozpin. Yeah, so there's 7 members as opposed to 6. So Ozpin's also a member. So yeah, it's those members. And the reason why they were brought together was... the Illuminati was at first brought together by Zordon, because at the time when a crisis showed up, and I don't want to spoil what those crises are, essentially what had happened was something happened, and Zordon didn't exactly have teenagers with attitude on standby. He didn't exactly was able to get just teenagers with attitude, so he had to make do with, hey, I'll just go grab some heroes that could help me out. And they were like, yeah, let's just stick together and continue on with protecting the Earth in secret, because what we do is kind of pretty dark stuff, because like the Illuminati, this incarnation of the Illuminati is a team that essentially does kind of some very dark and nebulous stuff. So even though Optimus is we all know he's good and all that, he does kind of have, he has to deal with a gray area, and a lot of these other characters have gray moments as well. That's what was the big thing with the Illuminati, is that these guys deal with gray areas. Obviously, you have Moon, who kind of perpetuated the monster racism and genocide that her family has been doing for eons. You also have Washu, who is, for lack of a better word, Rick, who's a little more a stable version of Rick Sanchez, and also the smartest person in this universe. You also have Ozpin, which I can give you a laundry list of how gray and nebulous he is. Zordon is even conspicuous of this. So is Ford. And, of course, Rose, who has her own secrets in here. So that was the big thing with this, is that all of these characters, even Optimus has his gray areas. because he's very much like, needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, so there's, there needs to be, some control here, and we need to put some stop to it. We need, he understands the need for this kind of team. They're also directly responsible for what's going on in Dark Phoenix. I don't want to tell you how, because that's kind of a big crux of the story, so I won't tell you. But yeah, they are pretty, like in the story description, if you guys have been reading it, in the story description, the sins of Optimus Prime's past. So, yeah, there's a reason why there's a mention of a sins of Optimus Prime's past, because he and the Illuminati did something really bad. They did something that's really bad, and they're indirectly responsible for why the Phoenix is now returning to this universe. Notice how I said this universe. It'll be explained further in the chapter. It'll be further explained in the upcoming, not 4th chapter, but the 5th chapter. The 4th chapter is more or less says, hey, the Illuminati was a thing, which was mentioned in the New Frontier storyline, in the New Frontier, which kicks off this whole universe. So that was the whole spiel there. We kind of mentioned it, but now, like, hey, now you'll get to see who is in the Illuminati. And what did they do to, what did they do to the Phoenix, and why, they're also responsible for it, they're kind of indirectly responsible for everything that is about to happen in the Infinityverse. So everything, and unlike in, and that was the thing that pissed me off about the Illuminati and what happened in both World War Hulk and Secret Invasion, was because they didn't really, Reed and the others didn't exactly get their, they didn't get through to them that what they did was horribly wrong. I mean, yeah, Doctor Strange stopped being the, Sorcerer Supreme for a little while, but he came back to that. But no one else was like, hey, we were really fucked up for sending the Hulk out, and also taking a fight to the Skrulls and giving them what they wanted of having their, allowing them to copy DNA and bring about Secret Invasion. So in here, we're actually going to address the consequences of what they're going to do, and those consequences are going to have major effects on all of these characters. So that's the big thing, is that this is going to have some major effects on these characters, unlike in Marvel, where they're just like, slap at the wrist at best. And I know what you're thinking for World War Hulk, but DPZ, in World War Hulk, Meek was the one who caused the explosion that killed Hulk's wife in Planet Hulk. Yeah, but who sent him to Sakaar in the first place? Wasn't Meek. They were equally responsible for that, and I'm getting on a tangent, so allow me to get on my soapbox real quick. They were pretty much directly responsible for that BS, so they may as well push the button themselves. So there you go. Now the other thing in here is that, yes, this will also spin out into its own storyline. This will spin out into its own little mini-series that will chronicle the Illuminati's other missions, like the first mission that brought them together, as well as a recent mission that they did prior to coming to reforming again to basically combat the Phoenix. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Into the Infinities for the Illuminati. I've been waiting to talk about this one, and I should have waited a little longer, but I was like, fuck it, I can't wait. Fuck it, I'm excited. So there you go, guys. As always, if you want to check out the Infinityverse, just check the link below for the first story, which is New Frontier. You guys can read from there. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.